Okay. Oh, we are recording. Hello, dear friends. Good afternoon. Such a beautiful, beautiful afternoon. So here I am in Woodside, and to my surprise, there is a gallery, and this is the first time they have this art gallery show. So I went in and met an artist, and slowly we start to chat, and I was so interested, and she has talked something that really touches heart. So I want to share her story. Let's go inside. Is a staple house, horse staple house, and in a county park, and there is an art show inside. I was quite captured by these horses, and they are so passionate. And yeah, to begin with, whenever I see something with charcoal pencil, with the least material, I have a particular interest. And look at the strengths, and look at the strength, the skill. It's fascinating. Maybe you can, okay, I will zoom in here. You can take a look. This is the artist website. Maybe you can get into her website and see more. Okay? So I saw your horse painting. It is spiritual, and the stroke is passionate. There is so much strength. What is your connection with the horse, and how did you get it so expressive?
So I grew up on a ranch in Iowa, and my father raised horses and cattle. And so I've been around horses since I was a child. I was on horses before I could walk. I felt a connection to them. There's a lot of stories in my family that before I could even walk, I would crawl to the paddock where the horses were, and I would crawl underneath them and sit underneath them. And they would realize I was missing nowhere to be found, and they'd go and look at the horses. So I was either sitting underneath them, or I was in their hay manger, trying to eat hay with them. So I've always felt very safe with horses. Have never been hurt by them, even though you would think it's quite dangerous.
Yeah.
But I've just never been hurt. And
I was thinking it's dangerous to be so close to the horse. Was that the horse particularly good to you?
I think that they are so sensitive and they're so careful. If they don't feel threatened, they are incredibly soft and gentle. I had my first pony when I was 2, and she was
Your own pony?
my own pony, yes.
Your dad bought
And
for
she
you?
wasn't anything fancy. She was just like this little kind of fat Shetland mare. And I don't think that she was even broke to ride. But I would pull her around by her forelock. She didn't even have a halter on. And I would crawl on her from a picnic table, and she would eat grass, and I would take my naps. So there was just something from the very beginning where I felt connected and safe with them, and safe enough to sleep on them. And I often took naps on my ponies and my horses as a child, and I didn't know there was anything special or unusual about that. It was, I think there was something very soothing about them and the sounds and smells that they made that just resonated with me. And so I've just always been around them. I've become like a symbiote to them. They're more like family. though I did show and compete with horses, that was never what my relationship with them was about. They were, it is a deeper bond than I think you could have with almost any other creature. They're so powerful, they're so intuitive and sensitive, and they bond so deeply with us. I mean, you expect a dog to bond with people. We have a lot in common with dogs. And I love that there's a horse in the background, calling. And so when I was a girl, after dinner, my father was actually a pretty good illustrator. It was a dream that he had that he did not pursue. So after dinner, I would often ask him to draw me a horse. And he would draw a horse on a napkin, and then I would take it into the living room and I would copy it. So that's where it all started, and I don't even know how old I was. And then, through high school, and horses were always just more interesting to me than anything else. And I did a lot of drawings of them through high school, and then I ended up going to art school in college.
Shall we talk in front of the
Sure.
paintings?
Yeah.
Because that's where it comes to life. Your tenderness, the passion, the strength, everything comes together into these artworks. And I feel it. I feel it.
These are really self-portraits too. So I don't see a big separation between me and these paintings. These are, some of the paintings are of horses that I knew or have known, and they're portraits that people have commissioned from me to do of their horses. But then other pieces I've done, like this piece, Grace. This is about,
the name?
I don't know Grace, but I found some source photos, and I painted this because of something that I was going through personally. So this is more of a portrait of something I was experiencing at the time that I did it. So it was something that was happening in my personal life that I decided to put into this painting. And
It's a shy, a struggle.
It was a struggle. So I was going through a breakup with someone, and it was a challenging experience, but there was a lot of love there.
Yeah.
And I sought grace, the concept of grace, not the religious connotation of grace, but a more personal, earthy gift of grace from me to this person. And it's more of an expression of growth and my feeling for this person that I wanted to bestow, but from a distance.
This is so beautiful.
Me and him. So, and then the next piece that I did after this one is this one, Ardor.
It's so touching. It's so touching, this one.
Thank you.
Did you regrow out of this?
Yeah,
Yourself?
so what I did,
You become a stronger person.
Yeah, so I gave him, and we're still friends. I'm still friends with this person. There's this breakup, and there's a great deal of love between us, but it's not what we had originally hoped.
Yeah.
But there's a great softness and kindness between us, and that's what I conjured. That's what I wanted with that painting. But then that was more of almost like a historical emotional piece, like I've been through something. And how I process it, this is how I chose to process what happened. And so then I thought, well, what do I want for my future? And so I did this piece, and I named it Ardor. And this is about trust, and it's about partnership, and it's about protection. And when a horse has, they're prey animals, so they have, they don't have vision like we do. They have their vision is, from the side and all around peripheral to protect themselves from predators. So when they give away their sight and turn inward, become inward focused, they're actually trusting whoever they're with to protect them for their lives. It's hard for us to imagine that because we're not prey animals. But this is a bond where this horse is trusting that one with its life. And that's the kind of bond that I feel I have with horses, and that I can't settle for less with a human. But I don't think not very many people are capable of that. But I did this as almost, I was trying to conjure that and bring that manifest it into my life with that kind of trust, that level of bond. And I do have that with horses. So, I have that in my life. Yeah. And that's good.
How long have you been with your horse? You mentioned about your horse story, and people maybe do not know, but how long has you been with your horse?
The horse I have right now, his name is Patron, and I've had him since 2009. And
that's 15 years.
Yeah, and he'll probably live for another maybe 5 or 10. And he's mostly retired now, and so it's my great honor to take care of him as an old man. He took care of me, for all of these years, and I was always safe.
You bring me a total different new world. What is horse retirement? What do they do before retire?
He has he was my riding horse, and we did a lot of things. We went places, we dressed up, we rode in festivals. He was a wonderful partner, and we trail rode. He was a dressage horse, but I didn't compete him. He was actually in some movies, and he was in a music video when he was young. And so he's a little bit famous. I like to call him my male model from California that I keep.
Is he from California?
He is from California. And I got him, I moved him. He came to me 3 times over the course of 9 months. And I was living in Chicago, and he was in California. And he was more expensive than I could afford. He was a long way away. But the 3rd time that someone told me about this same horse in California, I finally called the breeder. And an hour and a half later, he was mine. So I moved him to Chicago, and the next day I had my husband meet him, and he didn't like my husband. A year later, and then it turned out he was
Is that jealousy?
He just was like, well, who's that guy? And I was like, oh my God, he doesn't like you. And my husband was like, he doesn't like me. And a year later, I was divorced. And then it turned out he was allergic to insects in the Midwest. And he had welts. It was terrible. I thought I have to either sell him back to somebody in California, or I'm going to have to move. The next thing I knew, I was moving to California with him. So I followed the horse to California. And this has been this last 11 years in Half Moon Bay has been the best 11 years of my life. So he made some really great decisions for me. So now he's older, and he has some arthritis, he has some physical limitations. So he's not much of a riding horse anymore. But he's my partner, so I have to take care of him.
This is so interesting, so much story that we do not know. Actually, when we open up our heart, our mind, we see wonder in this world, in so many things, right?
Yeah.
And I'm so happy to meet you, to
Oh, well, thank you so
see
much.
this. Yes, look at this.
This is a horse that I knew. His name was Gideon, and I actually did his saddles for him for maybe 8 or 10 years. And he lived at the Woodside Horse Park,
Oh,
and he passed away. He was older. He passed away in December of last year, 2023. And his owner reached out to me to do a portrait of him.
of course.
And I just loved, so I did a portrait of him for her, which has a little different color composition. But I loved the source photos and this posture, this pose so much that I asked her for permission to use it for personal paintings.
Oh,
And, she said, please do, and you're welcome to use his name.
yes.
So this is my third piece of Gideon,
Oh,
and there's that horse
yeah.
calling to us.
Yes.
So I just finished it. It's been, I think I finished it about a week ago. So there might be more.
Okay, another thing, maybe people see this video will be interested. My video does not get a lot of views, but if they are interested and do not easy to get this large piece, can they get some small pieces?
Oh, yeah, actually, I do smaller pieces. I do a lot of studies,
Yes.
and those are usually anywhere from 11 by 14 to
yeah.
16 by 20, that
Yeah.
kind of size.
Yeah.
And they can be found at the Ocean Blue, the Art Vault in
Okay.
Main Street on
Yeah.
in Half Moon Bay.
Yeah.
I have an ongoing representation there.
Okay.
And also, you can
Oh,
find
your
them on my website.
Yes.
And you can purchase fine art prints on a number of different media, different sizes of all of the originals through the website.
Beyond everything, the story you tell. And when people see real artists and real connected with the subject they are painting, it's very touching.
Thank you. Thank you.
You are like, how do I say, like a dream that something
That's so sweet. Thank you so much.
I open up a big, new, fascinating world. Thank you.
So thank you so much. For
Thank
taking
you.
the
The
time.
two of us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. I hope I can get it.
Yeah.
Okay. So here is the horse stable, and I think the horse has just done a running around, a walk around, and they are cleaning it up. The horse take a shower, take a wash. I do not know. I do not know horse take shower or not. But they clean the horse, and then it's and then the horse clean, shiny, went into their sleeping room, bedroom, inside. Look at it. How beautiful these horses. Okay. Okay. Hello, dear friends. Hello, dear friends. Cuckoo. So, this is the staple house. Okay. So, I will end up here. You have a beautiful, beautiful evening, and talking with a real artist and see their thought process, and listen to their thought process and see their work, and see the work, the painting, the art with their life story. This is touching. This is very profound, and she's my inspiration. And I want to be so good at art. Oh, so good. Bye bye, friends. I love you. I really do. Do. Cuckoo, bye bye.